afternoon. I'm Raine Musñgi. This is Newsfeed. After much controversy, President Bongbong Marcos signs a 6.33 trillion peso national budget for next year. But he vetoed some 194 billion pesos worth of line items deemed inconsistent with his administration's priorities. These include roughly 26 billion pesos worth of programs of the Public Works and Highways Department and 168 billion pesos of unprogrammed appropriations. The controversial cash aid program, AKAP, will also be implemented conditionally.
The Filipino people have spoken. Every centavo must go to programs that truly uplift lives, strengthen communities, secure the future development of the Philippines. There were calls to veto the entire budget and to revert to a reenacted one. However, this is not an option that we can afford. We are compelled to subject the implementation of the Ayuda sa Kapos ng Kita program, or AKAP, to the convergence efforts of the DSWD, DOLE, and NEDA. This way, we ensure that its implementation will be strategic, leading to the long-term improvement of the lives of qualified beneficiaries while guarding against misuse and duplication and fragmented benefits.
The number of firecracker-related injuries in the country climbs to 163. That's 44% higher compared to the 113 cases recorded on December 30 last year. Most of the victims are minors. The health department has repeatedly warned the public about the dangers of using firecrackers this holiday season. It has encouraged watching community fireworks displays instead, set up by professionals. U.S. President Joe Biden leading an outpouring of tribute for former U.S. President Jimmy Carter. Biden honored Carter's legacy, calling him an extraordinary leader, a humanitarian, and his dear friend.
Today's world, some look at Jimmy Carter and see a man of a bygone era. With honesty and character, faith and humility, it mattered. But I don't believe it's a bygone era. I see a man not only of our times, but for all times. Someone who embodied the most fundamental human values we can never let slip away. Although sometimes it seems like it is. We may never see his like again. We'd all do well to try to be a little more like Jimmy Carter. He gave an awful lot of people a chance. So, as I said, I was an admirer. I consider myself a friend. Kept in touch with him, and his son, I was going to tell you a story his son told me, but that'd be inappropriate. Maybe he'll tell you, but I think he's happy. I think he's happy with Roseland.
For former U.S. President Barack Obama, Carter taught Americans what it truly means to live a life of grace, dignity, and service. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump also called Carter a consequential president who will be greatly missed. Carter died at the age of 100 at his home in Plains, Georgia. He was a peanut farmer who rose to the presidency in 1977. Carter only served a single term, but he redefined the post-presidency in the U.S., being involved in charity and diplomatic work, which earned him the Nobel Peace Prize in 2002. A team from the United States now in South Korea to help in the investigation of the Jeju Air tragedy. Of the 181 people on board Jeju Air Flight 2216, only 2 survived. The plane from Thailand crash-landed, then burst into flames at Muan International Airport. Bird strike likely caused what is now South Korea's worst aviation disaster. The government has declared 7 days of national mourning. Residents expressing both sadness and fear.
너무 무서움과 슬픔이 같이 오고.
Just last week, I flew to Jeju Island using that same airline. So perhaps that's why this feels so much more real and terrifying to me. The fear has been overwhelming, and I've been feeling down and scared all weekend, even up until now.
비행기를 탄다고 했을 때 사고가 직접 저한테 생길 거라는 게
It's hard to imagine that an accident like this could happen to me just by taking a flight. But with this incident, I can't help but feel worried and cautious about flying in the future.
This is the first fatal accident in the history of Jeju Air, one of South Korea's low-cost carriers established in 2005. And those are the news this hour. I'm Raine Musñgi. Stay tuned to BNC on Free TV Channel 31, Channel 24 on Cignal, and on our website, bnc.ph. Thanks for watching.